Okay, so looking at 7-4, I gave you that multiplication chart in case you're struggling to find your factors or your common factors. Okay, that will help you. Okay, so find the GCF of the terms of each polynomial. Some of these were done in your Ed Puzzle video. Okay, so looking at A, 15x squared plus 18. What is the largest number that divides 15 and 18? 3. So our GCF, maybe, equals 3. Okay with that? All right, so A was done in the video. So if we look at B, negative 16y to the 6th plus 28y to the 4th minus 20y cubed. So if we're looking at just the numbers, we have 16, 28, and 20. What's the largest number that divides all three? 4. Actually, I'm going to write that over. Okay, GCF equals 4. But when there's a negative in front, we're going to also factor out that negative. So it's going to be a negative 4. And then when we look at our variables, we pick the smallest one. So what's the smallest exponent between 6, 4, and 3? 3. So our GCF is negative 4y cubed. So when we write this in factored form, that negative 4y cubed goes in front. And then we're going to divide each term by that. So I'm going to write that out, negative 4y cubed underneath each of these. And we're going to divide. So what's negative 16 divided by negative 4? Positive 4. And then when we divide our variables, what do we do to our exponents? Subtract. So y to the 6th divided by y cubed would be y to the 3rd, because 6 minus 3. Okay, 28 divided by negative 4. 28 divided by 4? 7. A positive divided by a negative is a? Negative. So we have negative 7. Okay, y to the 4th divided by y cubed. Subtract our exponents, we're left with? 1. So we have y. And then negative 20 divided by negative 4? 5. And then y cubed divided by y cubed? 0. So we just close our parentheses. This is your factored form.
And then you solve it all.
Nope, that's your answer. We're just dividing. So we were multiplying in the last unit. We're dividing in this unit. All right, going to the right, looking at E. So now we have 2 variables. We're going to do the same thing though. So GCF, what's the largest number that divides 16, 4, and 8? 4. And now looking at your variables, do they all have an X? Yes. What's the smallest exponent on your X's? 1. Do they all have a Y?
No. Yeah.
They do. What's the smallest exponent on your Y? Just 1. So your GCF is 4xy. So we're going to divide every term by 4xy. We write that GCF out front. And then divide. What's 16 divided by 4? 4. X divided by X? Cancels, right? Okay. Y squared divided by Y? How many Y's would you have left? 1. So we have 4y plus 4 divided by 4 is 1. We don't need to write it. X squared divided by X. How many X's do we have? We had 2, we took away 1. So we're just left with 1. And then what about our y's? Y divided by y? Cancels out. Plus, okay, 8xy divided by 4xy. What's 8 divided by 4? 2. X divided by x?
0, 0.
Cancels. And y divided by y? So close your parentheses. Okay, so there's your answer. And then I think we have 2 more. The bottom 2. Okay, how do we find area of a rectangle? Length times width. So what we're doing here is we're going to find the dimensions. We know the area. Okay, Skylar, turn around. Okay, and we're looking for our GCF. That's going to be our common dimension, which would be our width. Do you agree the 2 rectangles share a width? Okay, so what's your GCF between 9 and 12? 3. What's the lowest exponent on our x's? 1. And what's the lowest exponent on our y's?
2.
So y squared. Okay, so now if we look at this rectangle on the left, if we want to find the length of it, we're going to divide. What's 9 divided by 3? 3. X divided by x? And y squared divided by y squared? Cancels. So the dimension of this rectangle, or the length, would just be 3. Now looking at the larger one on the right, 12 divided by 3? 4. X squared divided by x? And y cubed divided by y squared? Y. Okay, so our dimensions, our width would be 3xy squared. That's our GCF. And then our length, we add those together, we get 3 plus 4xy. Okay. So looking at B, it's just one rectangle. Okay, then we're not combining them. So we don't really know which one's our width, which one's our length. But we're going to kind of stick with the same thing and say that our width is our GCF. So 6x squared minus 18x. What's the largest number that divides 6 and 18? 6. And what's our smallest exponent on our x's? X. And then divide. What's 6x squared divided by 6x? X. Because 6 divided by 6 is 1. And x squared divided by x is just 1x. Okay, negative 18 divided by 6? Negative 3. And then x divided by x cancels. So our dimensions on this one is 6x and x minus 3. Okay. On your homework on these two, I'm pretty sure you're going to separate them with a comma. Okay.